What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we are diving into the Ultra League with a very fun team. I had a blast literally running this team, and it was inspired by, if you guys saw my video from yesterday, the top performing teams on PvPoke. The top performing team there was Tapu Fini, Skeledirge, and Charizard. Now, I don't have Skeledirge made just yet because I missed out on that event, but I do have Ho-oH, and I thought, you know what? There is nothing better than a 2-0, 1-0 shield Ho-oH in this meta in terms of fun and damage done. So, hope you guys enjoy. This was an absolute blast. Yes, it is weak to Ampharos. Yes, I did lose to one, but everything else just gets blown up. So let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, getting into the first battle here, we have Tapu Fini on the lead versus Shadow Alolan Sandslash. So we have a lot of good answers with this whole team in terms of potential damage done, right? We got Water Gun and Surf, we got Incinerate, we got Blast Burn, we got Sacred Fire. Yeah, we do have Sacred Fire over there. And when it comes to these charge moves landing, it does do quite a bit of neutral. So what I'm hoping to do is catch a charge move. I need to spread out the damage that this A-Slash can do against my team. But since they decided to shield, I instantly swap into Ho-oH to get ahead on energy because Incinerate absolutely shreds. As you guys saw right there, I was able to sneak 2 through, which actually gets it down to the red. Now they bring in a Mandibuzz, which is not going to be a great answer here because the Ho-oH with Sacred Fire is just going to be shredding through it. Already below 50% HP, and this is an XL Ultra League Mandibuzz, and I do have a 2-to-1 shield advantage. So what we're going to look to do here is try to get to one more Sacred Fire if I can. I didn't want to go for Brave Birds in case they were going to commit to the farm down and have a lot of energy, but in this case now they're going to be forced to throw, and I'm in a very good position to now come in with Charizard actually to farm down. So that's what we're going to look to do. We're going to go ahead and come in with that Charizard, load up on energy, and just, oh my goodness, all the energy in the world, right? Blast Burn against the A-Slash, it's going to one-shot, and whatever they have in the back is still going to take a lot of damage. So let's see how we can do this. I'm going to have to go for Dragon Claw here. I don't want to get hit with another charge move, but I do have quite a bit of excess energy, so I'm totally fine with this. Unless he would decide to come in, it's going to be a Poliwrath. So we're going to go ahead and go for a Dragon Claw, and my hope here is that I can catch a charge move on Tapu Fini because it's all going to be resisted, most likely Ice Punches here. So we're going to go ahead and swap, and we do catch the charge move. Absolutely beautiful swap right there. As the Ice Punch now doesn't do that much damage. We have some energy left, so they're going to be forced to throw, but they instead decide to swap into Alolan Sandslash, and that's going to be a good game. Remember, I still have a shield for my Charizard. Blast Burn, even though it is resisted, is going to do enough damage to take down this Poliwrath, and they cannot counter me down in time. So I'm going to go ahead and just let this go and then look to go for Blast Burn, and that is going to be a good game, very well played. Obviously, in this game, we used Ho-oH as the safe swap because I wanted to get that fast move damage through. Poliwrath survived with 1 HP, so good on it, but I still have a shield and was able to get a fast move through, so that's going to be a good game, very well played. All right. Moving into the next one here, we have Tapu Fini on the lead versus Virizion. Tough one. Okay, we're going to safe swap into Charizard right now, get ahead on energy, and they do decide to bring in a Steelix. So, in this situation, it's actually pretty decent because we can win CMP tie. We know Charizard throws the Breaking Swipes on 4 Dragon Tails, so we're going to go ahead and throw that Blast Burn there. We do force a shield, and in this situation, we can put a lot of pressure down. It also frees up Ho-oH in the back to potentially sweep, as Charizard here doesn't need to shield in order to land these extremely hard-hitting charge moves. So I'm going to go ahead and go for another Blast Burn now. And as long as I can get this Steelix somewhat low, taking the 2-to-1 shield advantage is a win for me. So I'm going to go ahead and take that. And the reason being is because I can bring in Tapu Fini here and farm down with Water Gun. Now, I don't get to the Blast Burn in time, unfortunately. I would have loved to get that. But now we're going to bring in Tapu Fini and just Water Gun down. There's no reason to shield here. I think it's just going to be Breaking Swipes anyways. and it is, so that's totally fine. But now look at this, we have a 2-to-1 shield advantage, and what I'm hoping for is another steal in the back, something like Registeel or something like that, at least a neutral matchup with Ho-Oh. So Breaking Swipe doesn't do anything. We fully farm down. We have a Moonblast for that fighting type Pokemon, but I'm going to swap anyways, and it's going to be Golisopod in the back. We're going nothing but Brave Birds here, everyone. There is nothing they can do. It is a 2-to-1 shield advantage, and Brave Bird absolutely booms this whole team right here. So buckle up, because the rest of these battles were booming. We get shield number 1. We're going to go ahead and go for the next Brave Bird right away. That way we have a shield for Virizion. So here comes Brave Bird number 2. Boom! Down it goes. Virizion is coming back in. We have a double debuff to our defenses because of Brave Bird, so we can safely shield this next charge move and hope to go for one more Brave Bird before going down. Now we did take double debuffs, but Sacred Sword here is not going to be enough to KO us, and we do have a Brave Bird ready to go. And remember, we still have Moonblast on Tapu Fini with a lot of health, but it doesn't matter because Ho-Oh's taking this one. Boom! Down it goes. Good game. Alright, moving to the next one. We got Tapu Fini now versus Haxorus. Okay. So, kind of an interesting lead matchup. Granted, we do have Moonblast, so I'm very happy with taking this one. But Haxorus, I think, pairs well with Steel-type Pokemon, which is how I'm kind of seeing this. So, obviously, Fires in the back might prove to be very beneficial for me. So, the Moonblast does get a shield, and they do decide to go for the charge move here. It could be an Earthquake, but I can survive. So I'm going to go ahead and let it go, which it is. And now I'm going to go into Charizard because I am ahead on shields, and I can get to a Dragon Claw very quickly in order to put more pressure on the Haxorus. It might not be enough to KO, but if it gets a second shield, I don't know what to say. Other than, well, obviously I put them in a tough position. This is not a knock on them. But I have a Ho-Oh with 2-to-0 shield, so we're gonna play to that. Obviously, I had so much fun with this team. I'm guessing you guys can feel that from the energy that I'm giving in this cast, because my gosh. Now, Jellicent is obviously a tough Pokemon to deal with for this team, but what I need to do is soak energy. So I'm gonna come in with the Tapu Fini and hope that they decide to dump energy into it right here. So Shadow Ball, so be it. I'll let it go because I'm just going to bring in the Ho-Oh and just Brave Bird everything. But they decided to go for Surf, and now they decide to go for the next one back to back. So I got kind of lucky here that they decided to do that. And then we're going to go ahead and come in with Ho-Oh, and this is going to be a wrap. We're just going to go ahead and load up on energy, and they decide to swap back into Haxorus, so I need to go for Sacred Fire here. I don't want to debuff myself. It is more energy. It does cost more energy, but I didn't want to debuff myself. So we take out the Haxorus. They come in with a Cobalion. So this is going to be a good game. They didn't build up enough energy for Stone Edge as well, so I can easily let this through, as it is just going to be Sacred Sword. Overload on energy, go for Sacred Fire now to take it out, and then I just need to get to one Brave Bird here for the Jellicent, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. They do have back-to-back Surfs ready to go because of all the energy that the Jellicent did have, but thankfully I have 2 shields, which is why I was saying Ho-Oh with 2-to-0 shields is a lot of fun, cleanly sweeping through this whole team right here. And that is going to be a good game, very well played, as Ho-Oh is going to be Brave Birding its way through the meta today. Boom! Down goes Jellicent. Good game. Alright, moving into the next one here. We have Tapu Fini on the lead versus Toxicroak. Okay, so this is going to be a tough one, right? Sludge Bomb, got to watch out for that, but I don't think it's going to warrant a shield just yet, so I'm going to go ahead and just go for a Surf. What I'm looking to do here is, I know they're probably not going to be shielding the Surf, but I want to get chip damage down because I know that Wing Attack and Incinerate can kind of take care of the rest. So if they throw Sludge Bomb here, I'm swapping out. I don't want to get farmed down. It is Sludge Bomb, so I'm going to go ahead and swap, and they swap as well, and in comes an Ampharos. This is obviously a Core Breaker. I said it at the beginning of the video. If you face one, It's basically going to be a good game unless you can get rid of it and shields and still have your Ho-Oh remaining. But it's basically going to be a good game. There's really not a lot I can do. They are throwing brutal swings, so I was hoping to be able to get to one more blast burn there, but unfortunately it did way too much damage. So Dragon Claw now, not going to do that much. We do have a 2-to-1 shield advantage right here. So my hope is to come in with Ho-Oh and maybe catch a charge move on Tapu Fini. But this is obviously a very troubling situation for me because this Ampharos is low on energy, and every fast move that it does is just shredding me apart. Switch Clock is up, but they are doing a great job of... Incinerate's hard to swap out of, right? I have to basically sacrifice a full fast move turn in order to potentially get it. So I'm going to try to swap here, but I don't get it in time. Ugh. We're gonna be taking a lot of damage. We're gonna try to swap now into Tapu Fini, but they swap into Sand Slash, and that's just gonna be a good game. Unfortunately, Ampharos gave me a run for my money here, as it obviously core broke my whole team, and they invested shields in it, and the Volt Switch just took me out way too fast. So that's gonna be a good game. You're not gonna win every single one. That's not gonna happen in Go Battle League. But my goodness, some of these wins are a lot more fun than the pain of the losses, let me tell you. Alright, moving to the next one. We got Tapu Fini on the lead versus Alolan Ninetales. Now, we'll have to see if this is Powder Snow or Charm, and it does look to be Powder Snow, which is a lot better of a matchup for us than Charm, because damage done to us is going to be coming from a charge move, Dazzling Gleam, which is something we could obviously shield. I don't want to give up shields this early, as it's not going to one-shot me, so I can safely look to go for Surfs here. And then I'm thinking about potentially soaking energy on my Charizard, as they're not swapping out, so I think they might have a Steelix in the back. So I'm going to go ahead and go for Surf here, and then I'm going to look to swap, especially if I get a shield from my opponent. So let's see. They decided to no shield, but I'm going to go for the catch anyways, and we do get the catch here. But is it Dazzling Gleam? It is. Perfect. We catch that. Resisted damage, still a good amount. And they do decide to bring in a Gliscor. So Gliscor now going to be able to do quite a bit of neutral damage here with Night Slash. And we should easily survive. And I'm going to overload on energy and try to play a mind game here of going for Blast Burn first instead of the Dragon Claw Shield Bait, which I'm just... Obviously, I love booming. Land the Blast Burn. That's so much damage. And now I can go for Dragon Claw, which is going to be forcing that first shield of this game, as both of us are desperately holding on. We're hoping that our third Pokemon can sweep. And now I'm going to come in with the Tapu Fini and look to Water Gun down. So we'll have to see what that final Pokemon in the back is. They do have two Pokemon that cover fighters, so I'm guessing it's a Steel. That's like my first thought. They do have Sand Tomb as well, which is interesting. But yeah, my first thought is a Steel. Let's see. Is it? Wait for it. Nope, it's better than a Steel. It's a Fighting Grass, and that's a good game. Very well played, as they will surrender. Alright, moving into the next one. We have Tapu Fini versus Walrein here on the lead. So, kind of an interesting lead where both Pokemon do a lot of neutral damage to each other. But again, in this kind of situation, looking at how the setup is on the team so far, a Walrein lead tells me that they want to counter Flyers and they want to counter Dragons and just have neutral damage. So my guess is they have a Fighter in the back. Obviously, first thought, if we're looking at probability, odds of what Pokemon you're going to face, a Virizion pairs very well here with a Walrein. So what I want to try to do is catch an Earthquake, and I want to catch all the charge moves today. You guys have been noticing a trend in my past couple videos. I love catching charge moves, and did we catch the Earthquake? Yes, we did. Absolutely beautiful catch. Now, they bring in a Shadow Swampert. This is dangerous. This is absolutely dangerous. Obviously, getting it onto the field against Charizard is the most ideal situation possible. And the reason being is, if it is in fact this is the hardest counter, think about it. We got 2 waters already. It could be 3. It could be the Shadow Gyarados in the back. But if these are the only 2 waters on the team, Ho-Oh is going to be free, most likely in the back, and Tapu Fini has energy. So we can get rid of the Swampert right away before it does any real damage to my team. I know it took out Charizard, but it was a sacrifice that I needed to do. And we're going to go ahead and look to no shield here. We're trusting in the full Ho-Oh sweep. And I'm actually going to swap into Ho-Oh here to farm down the Swampert. Yeah. Buckle up, everyone, because Walrein just came in. They are obviously extremely weak in the back if they need to come in with Walrein in order to win this game. So I'm actually going to no-shield the Icicle Spear, and the final Pokemon is, in fact, a grass. It wasn't Virizion, but it was a Venusaur. So this is going to be a good game. I'm going to go for Sacred Fire first to get the first shield, because then I can easily go for back-to-back Brave Birds here. And this is gonna be a good game. Ho-Oh sweeping teams, and again, I'm telling you guys, Charizard safe swap is beautiful in the Ultra League meta. Probably one of the best out there because of its ability to put shield pressure back against almost everything. And even then, if it's something that's an extreme hard counter. Now I tried to swap into Tapu Fini to make another catch, but it didn't work out. I can just go for Brave Bird anyways coming back in. So that's gonna be a good game, very well played. Ho-Oh went off for me today. Boom! Down it goes. All right. Moving into, I believe, the final battle here. We have Tapu Fini on the lead versus Steelix. Okay. Very positive lead for us. Let's see how my opponent decides to adjust. They decide to bring in double. I'm going to go ahead and bring in the Charizard. Now, this can be a very tough matchup if they have Wild Charge. But from the looks of it, they don't. This is going to be Body Slam based on the energy count right there. So now what we're going to look to do is go for Blast Burns. Obviously, a double in this situation might want to give up a shield, but Ho-Oh does very well against Steelix anyway, so getting myself shield advantage is very advantageous for me. So what I'm going to try to play, or how I'm going to try to play this, is the 2-to-1 shield situation to see if I can get to another Blast Burn in time, but I don't. One fast move away right there. So now I got to take this into the ones, which is fine, because in the ones now, do they actually want to give up the final? I'm going to overload a lot on energy as well. Do they want to give up their final shield to this Charizard to maintain switch advantage? And the answer is no. So I am able to almost farm down. I thought I had it right there. So I now am going to maintain switch. It was a tough situation, but I think maintaining switch is the best call. I will go for Dragon Claw right away. And the reason why I want to maintain switch is I think it might be Virizion in the back, and obviously keeping, well, it's a Toxicroak that came in, so same difference. Keeping Tapu Fini for Steelix is going to be the best option, as they will surrender. So good game, very well played. And we got one more. So this is going to be the final battle. Tapu Fini now versus Virizion once again. Tough lead loss. Let's see if we can overcome. Swapping into Charizard. They come out with Heliolisk. So obviously a very strong core breaker as well. But Heliolisk is not as dangerous as Ampharos, I think. And that's because of Blast Burn. So, and the breaking swipe as well just doesn't do enough. So I think... yeah, I decide to no shield. Breaking Swipe isn't enough to KO me, and I am able to get to another Blast Burn in time. So this is going to do an incredible amount of damage. Not enough, unfortunately, to KO, but we do get the 2-to-1 shield, and we got it on the field and out of the way, unlike that Ampharos. So now we can come in with Tapu Fini. They will have another charge move. That's fine. Let this go. I think it's just going to be another Breaking Swipe, which is easily resisted, and then we farm down. And we unleash Ho-Oh. This is what you do. So we're going to go ahead and swap in. And they have a Steelix in the back. So a Virizion Steelix core is heavily core broken by a Ho-Oh. Especially in the 2-to-1 shield advantage, as you can imagine. All I need to do is go for back-to-back Sacred Fires here, as it will be doing super effective damage. We do get the shield, and it doesn't matter if we got an attack drop there as well. It doesn't matter if they get these Breaking Swipe debuffs on me. It's obviously going to apply it, because Ho-Oh's damage is just so incredible that we can take out this Steelix with ease. Here you go. Boom! Down it goes, and in comes the Virizion, and it is a wrap. I have a Brave Bird ready to go now after this charge move, and that's going to be a good game. Ho-Oh did such an incredible job for me today. Core breaking teams, especially the Virizion Steelix core. Just so much fun to use, but obviously you got to watch out for Ampharos. Boom! boom, see ya. So very good battles to my opponents. Extremely fun team. I think the takeaway from this, right, if you're like looked through all that and you're like, wow, okay, let's buckle up and do that. Tapu Fini and Charizard is an incredibly strong core, and it can pair with other Pokemon that you can slot in there. I did Ho-Oh for the fun and for the booms. I think Skeletors is a huge option that you guys can do as well instead of Ho-Oh, so maybe try that. But overall, extremely satisfying and fun team to play. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.